Today, we're going to be nanoscale architects for a bit and uncover the hidden geometric genius behind one of nature's most effective creations, the virus. So, when you picture a virus, what do you actually see? Is it a spiky ball? Some kind of weird little spaceship? Well, the truth is, their designs are way more elegant and, frankly, ruthlessly efficient than you'd probably imagine. You see, a virus has one core mission: protect its genetic material and deliver it to a host cell. Period. And to do that, it's evolved into this absolute masterpiece of packaging, using just a handful of brilliant architectural blueprints. Okay, let's dive into this. To build a protective shell using as few unique parts as possible, nature basically settled on two incredibly elegant solutions: the spiral and the sphere. We're going to look at the spiral first. So, the first blueprint uses something called helical symmetry. The best way to picture this? Imagine a spiral staircase where the steps are all protein subunits. The virus's genetic material, its RNA or DNA, is coiled up safely right along that central column, perfectly protected. A classic example of this is the tobacco mosaic virus, or TMV. It forms this incredibly stable, rigid rod that's about 300 nanometers long. And inside that tight protein spiral, its RNA is just tucked away, completely shielded from the outside world. It's a design that's simple, strong, and just brutally effective. All right, the second major blueprint is the sphere. So why a sphere? Well, it's all about pure geometric efficiency. A sphere can enclose the most amount of space with the least amount of surface area. For a virus, that means maximum protection for its genes using the absolute minimum amount of building material. But here's the thing. Viruses don't build perfect spheres. They build something even smarter, using the principles of icosahedral symmetry. Let's see how this works to build a really strong, stable container. So, what is icosahedral symmetry? Well, imagine a shape built from 20 identical triangular faces. This geometric pattern lets a virus build a strong, stable, and nearly spherical shell from just a few repeating protein parts. It is a brilliant solution to a really complex engineering problem. You know, the easiest way to picture this is to think of a classic soccer ball. It's not a perfect sphere, right? It's a collection of flat panels, hexagons and pentagons, all stitched together to create a round shape. Viruses are doing the exact same thing, but with triangular protein faces. And this whole concept also explains how viruses can scale up in size, using something called the triangulation number, or T number. A simple T equals 1 virus uses just 60 protein units. But to build a bigger shell, like the T equals 3 tomato bushy stunt virus, it just uses more units, 180 of them, all arranged according to those same geometric rules. And just to give you a sense of scale, that tiny T equals 1 satellite tobacco necrosis virus is only 17 nanometers in diameter. That's thousands of times smaller than a single grain of salt. We are talking about truly microscopic architecture here. It's kind of mind-blowing. Okay, so not all viruses stick to just one blueprint. Some of them get pretty creative and start combining these basic forms to create some really unique hybrid shapes. So take the bacilliform viruses. They essentially stretch out the sphere. You can think of them just like a pill capsule. They have a long, rod-like body, but it's capped at both ends with that rounded, icosahedral-like structure. It's really the best of both worlds. Then you have the geminate, or twin viruses, and this is a truly unique design. They are literally two icosahedral particles fused together, and they look a little bit like two acorns joined at the base. This structure is built from two incomplete spheres, and each one is missing a piece right where they join up. So let's put them side by side. You've got the bacilliform, or pill, which creates a longer container, probably to hold more genetic material. And then you have the geminate, or twins, which creates this unique two-part particle. It's just fascinating to see two completely different solutions that evolved to solve different problems. But the architectural complexity doesn't stop there. Some viruses have evolved even more advanced defenses, adding extra layers of armor. For some viruses, one protein shell just isn't going to cut it. Viruses like the phytoviral viruses build shells within shells, almost like a Russian nesting doll. They have a tough inner core that holds the genes, which is then enclosed in a completely separate outer shell. We're talking double the protection. But, maybe the most cunning defensive strategy is to not build your outer layer at all, but to steal it And this is where we get enveloped viruses. They are quite literally thieves, wearing coats they stole from the very cells they infect. Okay, let's look at the anatomy of a rhabdovirus. The genetic RNA is right at the core, protected by a matrix protein shell. But the clever part is the outer layer. That stolen coat is a lipid membrane it literally rips from the host cell as it escapes. And this doesn't just camouflage the virus. It comes studded with glycoprotein spikes. And those are the keys it's going to use to break into its next victim. So, we've seen spirals, spheres, pills, and twins. But why does all this geometry, all this architecture, actually matter? Well, it all comes down to this. A virus's shape is everything. That architecture dictates how stable it is, which cells it can invade, and how it injects its genetic payload. Structure is function. For a virus, shape is destiny. And as the source material puts it so well, this incredible diversity isn't random. It is highly uniform, and it's precisely dictated by the simple, powerful rules of geometry and the arrangement of its protein building blocks. It's like ordered chaos. And it leaves you with a fascinating thought. If the simple, elegant architecture of a virus so perfectly defines its purpose and its function in the world, well, what does our own complex design, our bodies, our societies, our creations, what does that say about ours?